Hi, welcome to Childcare Challenges and Dilemma in Daycare. Our dilemma, and not really a dilemma, but something that caught my attention recently, is something that when a lot of people don't talk about enough and the media don't talk about enough, right? When we think of single parent, we associate it mostly with mom, with a female. But over the last 3 weeks, I've been getting calls for parents that need care. 95% of it are single fathers. And I watch how they work. I have a child, this young man is 25, 26 years old. The other one is in his 30s. Young fathers, I'm talking about, that's stepping up to the plate. That's working 12, 13 hours. This father in particular, I had to tell him how proud I am of them. How if no one's telling him that what he's doing is great, he's doing a fabulous job. He brings his baby here to me, who is 1 year old, from 5:30 a.m. until 8 p.m., 9 p.m., right? Now, as a single dad, I watch him. He get no help from the state at all. This is no help, no childcare subsidy, nothing whatsoever. He has to provide everything for his kids, no government assistance. Everything at 25, 26 years old, he's doing by himself. And I looked at him, how he's doing it. And I watched how he's doing and not able. And he's like, listen, I have no one to help me. Right? I know me holding the baby from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., sometimes 9. It's a lot. But I do it because of how I see him putting forth. And I looked at him as it could be my son, one of my kids, because he's the same age of my children. And a lot of people don't talk about it enough. A lot of people don't talk about how fathers are stepping up, how fathers are being affected, single dads, whether they black, white, purple, green, I don't care what color they are or what their ethnicity. And it's just startling to see that the media don't spotlight these young men, right? The media don't show these young men appreciated. And when I hear them and they sit here and I watch two of them, this two father in particular, that how frustrated they get, how overwhelmed they become, right? And I'm like the mother, like we all female, like that have kids would do, right? When they call for mom, you have that motherly thing in you. I had to sit there and calm down. I was like, you know what? Don't be a part of the statistic. You're doing great. The world, social media, the news, those show this. And I want to dedicate today's on single fathers. We always do single mom, but I want to do about single fathers and tell you guys how proud I am of you and how valuable you guys are and how stepping up to the plate and be there and working 12, 15 hours a day, 5 days a week for your children so you can make ends meet without getting assisted, without going there and crying and saying, you know what, I'm a single parent. I deserve this. I need to get this without applying for state, without any help whatsoever. You guys doing it. I see you. I see you. I see this guy come here and he was like, I just got out of lockup. I get custody of my kids. I have 5. I get custody of them. And I'm trying to do everything. I'm doing the work. I'm going to work. I'm looking a job. I'm working now. Work 40 hours, but I'm trying to get more hours. And he was the frustration he had. Like he just wanted someone to listen to him, to hear him. And I see the anxiety start building up in him. And he's getting called, and I see his baby girl calling him, Daddy, bring me this, bring me that. Right? He's like, I'm gonna get you something when I get back. And I watched him. I sat here in my daycare and watched him. How he navigates while he's trying to multitask. He's like, you know what, help me do this. And I help him fill out all the application and everything that he needed. But we need to acknowledge single fathers who are on the rise and are stepping up to the plate and doing what they have to do to provide, just like single mothers do, and for their kids, right? These single fathers and young men, and I have to tell this young man, and I'm talking to you, young man, whether you was in federal, state prison, foster care, juvenile, that don't define you. You're not that. You're not like I tell him, and I'm gonna tell you guys, and I want you guys to hear me. I told him when he said, "You know what? I'm a convict." I said, "Don't say that. You put that convict on your name, you're labeling yourself." And like I tell him, think of it, your past as a tag, right? Think of it as a clothes. When you go to the store, the department store, and you buy a clothes, it comes with a price tag on it. That price tag, you have an option. You could cut it off, or you could wear it. You could keep it on it. But once you cut it off, it's yours. Most places don't want to take it back without a tag. I know some of them do, but they itchy to take it back without a tag. Most places are like, okay, and if you lost the receipt, even more. So that tag attached to that receipt. That clothes attached to that receipt. So what I'm telling you guys is this. Think of what you go through, whether you was in foster care, juvenile, federal, or state, as a tag, right? Those things, the numbers are the price. The record or the receipt. Cut that tag off. Throw that receipt away, like I tell them. Throw the receipt away and start fresh. Build your own kingdom. Build your own foundation. It's going to be hard. I'm not telling y'all it's going to be easy. I am not saying that it's going to be an easy task to go on. You're going to have blackout. You're going to have fight. I'm not here. I know I want to save the world. I'm the person that always want to save everyone, right? And I try my best to save. That's why I got into childcare in the first place. I could save children, right? I always want to save everyone. And I feel like this is my calling. And what my husband would say all the time, this is my calling, right? But the more and more I see people that come through here, especially those that are a rough path, a rough background, and I try to soothe them in. And when I talk to them and I see the relief that they have, and that's what I want to give you guys, that relief, that price tag, that receipt, throw it away. Don't let that define you. And this is the same thing I tell him. Do not let that define you. But I could say that all I want. I could tell you not to let that define you and not let that be who everyone thinks you are. But all that said, it's up to you. I just want to acknowledge you guys and tell you guys you're doing a great job and let you guys know how important you guys are. And do not let the system that they create affect you. Do not let the system that they create, especially for minority men, right? That stop you from doing what you're doing for the kids. I see you. I hear you. I love you, minority man, Black and brown and yellow alike. You are appreciated, minority men. I just want to say that the job that you're doing are phenomenal. Working for the children, and please do not go backward. And without getting help, without getting no form of assistance, without getting any assistance from the government whatsoever, you guys are doing it. And I see you. We see you. That you're doing this job. Don't let the system bring you down. I see how frustrated you guys get when you guys are like, listen, I can't afford this. I will work with you. I will take that cut because I am proud of you. I will deal with the cut, just like I did with the others. When they came here and they like, Miss T, they call me Miss T, Miss T. I can't afford the price that you're charging. I go everywhere and this is what they charge. Is there something that you could do for me? Yes. Because I want you to continue doing what you do. I don't want you to ever, ever have to sit there and feel like you have to go backward. I want you minority men, I want you men in general to keep going forward. I want every man to continue doing forward. But what I see, when I say minority men, I don't mean other men aren't doing it. But my community that I serve is mostly minority. Black men, black and brown men, and that's what I've been serving. And I see how black and brown men, I have to speak in the community that I serve, right? And the one that come into my care. So I don't want anyone to be offended. But I'm saying that this, the one that I see come into my community, these young men that are saying, listen, I was a convict. And I watch, and I'm like, your son is there. We're not doing that. Your daughter is there. We're not doing that. Because you got to be around to show your son that, listen, that path I go is not the one you're going to take. You got to be there to show your daughter the type of man that they need to marry. And it's such a pleasure to see these young men that's coming in my care. And like I said, within the last 2 weeks, I've seen over 20 single fathers, over 20 of them come in here that need care. I don't know what it is, but we don't talk about it enough. Single fathers and the stuff they do it. I know when we hear single parents, I know they say single parent, but come on, our brain are wired to think mom, right? But females do a lot more. But I just want to say that single fathers are out there. They are affected by childcare. They are doing what they're doing. They cannot afford childcare either. I know when we fight for everybody. I'm not saying you don't fight for single fathers too. But single fathers are feeling it. And you have to see how when we mom, we're not saying we don't break down. But you know the saying goes, guy gets sick and it's like the end of the world, right? Mom gets sick, we don't get sick days. And this thing, when I see them come here and I see the meltdown that they have it, that I have to put my arms around them and say, I got you. We're going to do this together. And when they come from work and they talking and telling me how their day was, and they telling me, oh, this is what it is. It was raining, it's snowing, and they don't care. And I tell them I'm leaving early. And they said, well, if you leave, we're going to fire you. I have to tell them, mister. And he's like, I just feel like quitting. I said, you know what? No. Don't give them that pleasure. Don't give them that pleasure of saying you get upset. You see? He's just like one of them. Don't feed that into no one. Don't give anyone that pleasure. Emotion, the way we control emotion, right? Our reaction to our emotion. Single fathers are out here, young single fathers and older single fathers alike, are doing so much for their children, are doing so much for their kids and they're not being seen. And they feel like they're not being seen. And then I have another one that came in here and he was trying to talk to his mom and see the anxiety that the mom gave him. And I sat there. I just sit and watched his body language and watch how nervous he gets and watch how he's shaking. Some of us moms, we're told to be hard on our boys. But our boys need us, just like they need their dad. When I see how he was shaking and filling out this application, he's like, let's see, I can't do it. I said, sit down. This is when another father from a previous one. I said, sit down. I want you to breathe. Inhale. Do it, Nick. Come on. He's 35. I said, I want you to inhale. Close your eyes. And just count to 10 slowly while inhaling and exhale it. I want you to take deep breaths and I want you to clear everything. I didn't tell him hang up on his mom. I let him listen. So that's not my job. That's rude. So he listened to what his mom said. But I see how his anxiety start blurring up. I see how he was pacing, like he feel like he's not, because he can't do it right. He's not doing it right. We got to give them credit when they're doing it. I see how he was feeling defeated at the moment. Just by the conversation, the mom was on speaker. Just by the conversation and her tone and the way she was talking to him. He's like, I'm trying. I'm trying. I don't know what else to do. I said, you're not trying. You're doing it. And single fathers, you are doing it. You're not trying. You're doing it. And I see you. I'm going to ask some of these fathers, some of these dads to come on after, them being here a while. If they're okay to talk about the experience of being a single dad. If they're okay of how childcare affects them and the importance of childcare, I'm going to invite them on because a lot of them are going through it. And I want you guys to hear from their mouth how they're being affected and how they have to work and how they got to walk a straight path. They can't afford to mess up. They can't afford to get angry. They can't afford to show their frustration. So they're going to be labeled as the angry Black man, the angry Puerto Rican, the angry Latino, the angry Chinese, the angry this, the angry that. They're going to be labeled as that. So when the job is telling the first one that I tell you his child is there at 5 a.m, that, well, if you don't want to do it, he's finished his first shift. This is the thing. I go back to him. He finished his job. He had one shift from 5. He finished it at 1 o'clock. At 5 a.m., done at 1 p.m. When he finished at 1 p.m., he's like, can I go home now? I'm done. They told him, no, you got to go sit there and do another, somebody else's route. He said, but I'm done. I've been up since 5, since 4. They're like, well, if you don't do it, you're going to lose your job. When he saw me, I said, listen to me. Don't worry about the time you got here. You got a house to take care of. You got your baby. You got rent mortgage to pay. You got rent to pay. You got light bill. You got bills. The baby's okay. His baby's 12 months old. Your baby's okay. I got him. Do what you have to do. Single father, we see you. I see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the job that you're doing for your children. I appreciate all the necessary steps that you take to ensure that your kids, their needs are being met. All their needs are being met. I see how hard you guys work to make sure that the anger don't get the best of you. I see how you want to scream, you want to yell, you want to be heard. And like I tell them, my phone is always open for ear. Whenever they feel like they just want to yell, before they go out there and do anything, I'd rather them call me up. It's Steve, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I will listen. It's time that we acknowledge our man, our young man and older man alike that's doing the job, that are being affected by childcare. They're being affected, but they don't want to talk. They don't want to come out and say they're being affected. Because what? It won't look like, the man thing, the manly stuff. But ask for help. We're here to help you. Ask for it. Call us. Let us help you, single dad. Let us help you. We're here to help you. And I just want to say, I see you guys. Until next time. Thank you for joining Childcare Challenges and Dilemma Daycare. Like, share, and subscribe. And yep, my single fathers, I see you. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys.